Welcome. In this video, we'll be discussing fraction division. So to start, let's take a look at number 1, 2/3 divided by 4/9. By the way, this is on page 22 in your Alex notes. So when we're doing 2/3 divided by 4/9, we're going to take a look at this one kind of a unique way, and then we're going to go back and develop some steps that you can follow to do fraction division on your own. So 2/3 divided by 4/9. Well, let's think about what the fraction bar actually means. So if you recall, 2/3 really means 2 divided by 3. The fraction bar really means division. Same with 4/9. This really means 4 divided by 9. So wherever I see a fraction bar, it really means there's division. And wherever I see division, there's really a fraction bar. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. So we can think of 2/3 divided by 4/9 as one jumbo fraction. So the top of that fraction would be 2/3, and the bottom of that fraction would be 4/9. So this fraction bar is taking the place of this division symbol because they mean the same thing. So now what I'm going to do is actually just work on simplifying this jumbo fraction down into one single fraction like we're used to seeing. So if you remember our rules for simplifying fractions, one of the things that we were allowed to do was multiply top and bottom by the same thing. And as long as we multiplied top and bottom by the same thing, it didn't change the value of the fraction. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. And I'm going to strategically choose a number to multiply the top and the bottom of this fraction by, and it'll make sense in just a second. So I'm just copying what I had. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the bottom of this fraction by 9/4. Notice it's the flipped over version of this guy. But because I multiplied the bottom by 9/4, I also have to do the same to the top. Okay, so when I multiply 4/9 by its reciprocal, 9/4, let's just see what happens. So if you didn't get a chance to check out fraction multiplication, make sure you go ahead and do that. But if I multiply 4 times 9 and 9 times 4, what we end up getting is 36/36. So for right now, I'm not going to touch the top at all. I'm going to leave it as it is. So on top we have 2/3 times 9/4. On the bottom, we have 4 times 9 again, which is 36/36. Well, 36/36 is just 1. And anything divided by 1 is just itself. So what we end up with is 2/3 times 9/4 divided by 1. Well, again, I don't really even need this division by 1 because anything divided by 1 is itself. So I can just leave this as 2/3 times 9/4. So what did we just learn? Well, what we learned is that if I have a division problem, I can always think of it as simplifying a fraction, which means ultimately I can change it into a multiplication problem. How do I do that? Well, when I want to change a division problem into a multiplication problem, notice how the first number stays the same. 2/3 and 2/3 stay the same. What changes is the second number, what I'm dividing by, flips over. So what I end up multiplying by is 9/4. So dividing by 4/9 and multiplying by 9/4 really mean the same thing. So if we were to write this out in steps, here's how it would look. 2/3 divided by 4/9. So step 1 is we would change to multiplication problem. And the way we would do that is, again, we leave the first one the same, so we leave this one. The division becomes multiplication, and then this second guy flips over. And then step 2 in the process is just to multiply the fractions that are left. And then reduce your answer. So we have 2/3 times 9/4. Well, if I multiply across, I have 18 over 12. If I divide both top and bottom by 6, that yields 3 over 2. And I could turn that into a mixed number if I wanted to, but I'm just going to leave it as 3 over 2. Unless Alex actually asks you to, you can always leave your answer in improper form. Okay, I want you guys to try number 2. So first turn this division problem into an equivalent multiplication problem. Then actually do the multiplication and get your answer. Pause the video and then restart when you're ready. So for number 2, you should have gotten 7/8 times, remember the first guy stays the same, then we change division to multiplication, and then this 3/4 flips over and becomes 4/3. So if I multiply what's left on top, 7 times 4 is 28. On the bottom, 8 times 3 is 24. If I divide both top and bottom by 4, that's going to give me 7 over 6. And again, it's okay to leave your answer in improper form. Okay, try numbers 3 and 4. Pause the video and then restart after you've given them both a try. So number 3 should have written as 6 over 11 and then times 22 over 3. If you multiply the tops together, I think you'll end up with 132 over 33. And actually, I can see that I'm going to be able to divide top and bottom by 11. And that's going to yield 12 over 3. And in fact, I can even go further than this. So if I divide top and bottom by 3, I'm going to get an answer of 4. Okay, 4 over 1, but I don't need to write the over 1. And then number 4, okay, again, leave the first guy the same. Change to a multiplication. Flip the second guy over. Okay, if we multiply across, we have 33 over 35. And that is not reducible. So that's as far as we can go.